conversation.
Listen, I want to talk about immorality and homosexuality.
All right.
I submit, and I'm an atheist. I've told you before, but I read the Bible. I submit that Jesus Christ was a homosexual. First off, he hung around 12 guys for 3 years of his career. He never was married. And also, at the Last Supper, and there's a quote.
Well, look, there are a lot of guys who have never been married who aren't homosexuals. That doesn't automatically signify that a guy's a homosexual.
Well, they could be suspect.
Only to a small, putrid mind like yours.
Okay, now, there's a quote in the Bible at the Last Supper.
Oh, you sound so ridiculous. I let it pass when you started. Hello, Bob, I'm an atheist. I've called you before. Okay, big deal. Then he goes on to say he reads the Bible. That's absurd. Why in the world would you keep reading the Bible? And I'll tell you why. I'll answer the question for you. You double-gated freak. I'll answer the question for you. You read the Bible because in your heart of hearts, you're not an atheist. But you want to sound like an atheist.
No, I am.
I am.
All right, now listen. There's a line in the Bible that says, there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples whom Jesus loved.
Well, Jesus loved everybody.
No.
He would even love you.
No.
He would even love you. That's how incredible.
Bob,
that's why it's very hard for a guy like me to be a follower of Jesus, because I don't love scum, but he loves scum. He loves everything.
The Apostle
everybody.
John. And there are countless references in the New Testament of which only the Apostle John is quoted as being loved.
Does it make you feel good to take these disparate, disjointed, inconclusive statements, these non sequiturs? Does it make you feel good to try to build a case and say he was a homosexual?
Okay, let's forego any biblical reference now.
You're the one who brought it in.
Okay, now let's forego it now at this point.
Thank you, T.
Prove to me why homosexuality is immoral.
Well, first of all, it is not. It is absolutely beyond the realm of any logic for a male to have sex with another male. It is absolutely anatomically, it is an impossibility.
Bob.
Unless you pervert the act, and hence the word pervert, unless you pervert the act by having some queer put you-know-what in some other queer's you-know-what.
Yes, I understand.
Okay?
But
it wasn't made to be that way.
Who made it?
Who made it?
Yeah.
Who made it? What do you mean, who made it?
Bob.
There are people who, for whatever reason, have this compulsion to practice homosexuality. And I say, if that's what they feel they must do, let them do it. Leave them alone. Don't bother them. But please, don't have a skunk like George, a sickola, a weirdo, a creep like George call the Bob Grant program and try to play silly word games. Get off my phone.
In the military. I don't understand why the United States government is against it. Now, I look back in ancient history where the ancient Greeks totally accepted homosexuality as normal in their society.
Did they? Did they accept it as normal?
Yeah.
Where do you see that they accepted it as normal?
On their vases.
Huh?
On their vases.
On their vases?
Yeah. Well, what I want to say is...
On the vases?
Yeah. Bob...
you mean on their...
on the vases.
On the vases.
You go to the
do they have smiles on their vases?
Huh?
Yeah. Anyway, you're a jerk. Get off my phone.
Right.
Get off my phone, scumbag. You're on WABC. Hello, although the voice are doing pretty bad at that, too.
Yeah. Hi, Bob. It's me, George the Atheist. Welcome back.
George the Atheist.
Bob, I want to make a comment about the cardinal in Israel.
But you know, all you atheists, though, I have to... Robert C. Ingersoll was an atheist.
Who?
Robert Ingersoll.
Yeah.
You never heard of him?
I heard of him.
He was born, I think, in 1833, and I think he died in 1899.
Yeah.
I thought you might have heard him because he's the darling. He was an intellectual. He had a keen mind. But even though he was an atheist, he mentioned God many times. It's inevitable that people talk about God.
Well, you know, there's a misconception about atheism that people think that atheists say there is no God. Atheism means without God. The prefix a is a Greek prefix that means without. God has no meaning for a rational person if you use your mind.
Anyway, George, what is it you wanted to talk about?
Well, okay. Okay. The Cardinal is sitting in the Prime Minister's office now, finally.
You know what? You know what? I find him to be a pain in the neck. Yeah. I don't like him.
Yeah, I know. He looks...
No, I really don't like him. I think he's a ham. I think he's a sleazy politician. I liked Terence Cardinal Cook. I liked him.
Yeah, he was a benign guy.
He really was.
Yeah.
He believed in rendering under Caesar that which is Caesar's, etc. But this guy O'Connor, he should have been a Tammany Hall leader. That would have been his speed.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just kind of a mean-spirited guy.
I don't know if he's mean-spirited, but he's just a sleazy politician.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the point I want to make is, the Catholic Church does not recognize the state of Israel. And I think it's about high time that they do as an institution, because I think there's a certain kind of an inherent institutional anti-Semitism on the part of the Vatican.
Ah, cut it out. Yeah, cut it out. With all the things that John Paul II has said and done, cut it out. Cut it out.
Let me make my point. Do you know that Adolf Hitler died? Yeah, and he was still on the tax rolls of the Catholic Church.
Oh, my God.
Why doesn't the Catholic Church have a post-mortem excommunication of Adolf Hitler?
All right, so we'll put the Catholic Church on trial. Thank you very much,
okay.
You jerk.
This is George the Atheist. Ni hao ma. Listen to it soon. Bob, I wanted to talk about Lanny Guinier and this bit you've been playing about President Clinton, about him not reading the writings. I think you should pay very close attention to the way that is worded, because you're making him out as a liar. He said that at the nomination, now I don't know how many weeks ago was the time of the nomination, 3 weeks ago, he had not read her writings. Then he goes on to say, today I read some of them again in good detail. Now, he has a window of weeks in which he could have read the writings, and notice he also said he read them again good detail. He's intimating that maybe he had just skimmed the writings before. So, if you want to be totally fair, he may be lying, he may not be lying.
You know, George, I knew somebody would come up with this cockamamie attempt to excuse Slick Willie, but it doesn't wash, and I'll tell you why. If he were truly, there would not be this convoluted language here. He would not recall. By saying, in case anybody's wondering, and I know George the Atheist is such a smart guy, I don't have to explain it to him. The reason they say, I don't recall, whether rather than no, is they can always say, well, I didn't deny that I did it. I just admitted that I couldn't remember. Nice try, George. Go back to your garbage pit, you jerk.